So one of the things that I always try to do here on this channel is to prepare you, to make sure you are ready for what is to come. Well, something could potentially be happening very soon, so I want to make sure you are stocked up. Because what is expected is we could see chaos within the next couple of months, and I do not want you to be out there struggling simply because of two main shortages. We're already seeing Costco providing limits on these things. But here's what's happening. We are going to see a major water and plastic shortage. Now here's the problem. There's two main staples in life. There's water and there's food. Without the two, you will find yourself in a world of hurt. And today, I want to explain what is going on and why it is soon potentially going to be gone. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some advice on what I am currently doing to ensure that I never run out of clean drinking water. And I recommend you do the exact same thing. Now, let me give you a little bit of a context, because what has happened in the past is we have had issues. In February of 2021, the plastics industry was devastated by the winter storm that decimated Texas and their power grid. Also, 80% of US resin production was impacted because of this. Not only that, but polypropylene and polyethylene, their price hikes, especially over the past 6 months, have been insane. And a 30% diminishment of production capacity added to the issues that we are currently facing here in the United States. Now, on top of all of that, the war between Russia and Ukraine has only made this issue worse. When the United States started to put sanctions on Russia and banned Russian crude oil, this made crude prices jump over $100 per barrel. It also put the US on high alert that Russia could potentially do a cyber attack against our water systems and our telecommunication systems. Now, the increase in price in crude, this pushed resin prices up even further. That created more and more issues. Now, resin is used to produce water bottles, and this is going to lead to a major issue very soon. The expectation is if we do not see Russia pull out of Ukraine, if we don't see China end their lockdown, we could potentially have a major shortage. Now, what we are seeing right now is that resin is not being produced as much as it was in the past. And when millions and millions of Americans globally, okay, we got millions and millions of Americans and we got global, demand for products such as, water, bottles, plastics, things like that. This is causing a lot of issues because globally, people are worried about drinking unfiltered water. So what do? They push towards bottled water, filtered water. Now, the issue here is the United States, we already have a major shortage. And mainly the shortage is coming from workers. Now, there's not enough workers to produce more bottles. There's not enough workers to ensure that bottled water is being produced correctly. There's not enough workers in the recycling plants to keep up with the increased demand. A lot of issues. Now, so what is going to happen if this continues? Well, here's what I can tell you. Grocery stores are already going to see limited stocks of individual bottled water. We're already seeing it. Walmart, they have limits. Costco has limits. Kroger, in most cases, have limits. Costco, they imposed these new limits of cases of bottled water almost a year ago. And it's only gotten worse. Because yes, they do have cases and pallets full of water, but the problem is they still have limits. If they lift those limits, the bottled water would likely be gone. Sports drinks, well, we're seeing limits there. We're also seeing increases in prices as well. And this is devastating to many people, especially lower income earners. Now, the fact that wages have increased substantially over the past 2 years is what is causing many companies to charge more for their products like water bottles and water filters. This is key. And this is what many people don't realize is, okay, I can buy water bottles, I can buy bottled water, right? But here's the issue. If you don't put filtered water in it, what are you putting in it? So what can you do about this, right? What can you do about this major shortage of plastic, is pretty much the bottle crisis? Well, the first thing that I recommend is something that I do myself, is get a good reusable water bottle. Something with a bigger top, okay? It's easy to fill, right? It's easier to drink out of. The next thing is get yourself a water purification system. It could be something very simple as the Brita water filter, the pitchers. Brita makes them, Pure makes them. You could get the little system that goes right on the tap of your sink, and you can get filtered water there. You can invest in a refrigerator that also dispenses filtered water. I have that as well, and it works great. Love it. But this also leads me to the next issue. We are seeing a shortage of bottled water because of production. But we're also, okay, and just keep this in mind, producing water bottles costs more money. It's taking longer to produce due to worker shortages, and the fact that China is in a lockdown and has the largest activated carbon market in the entire world only puts more pressure on the United States to produce, water filtration units with silica or sand or other materials. And so this is what you need to do. You need to not only stock up on bottled water, have a few cases at least, just in case. But not just bottled water. You need to make sure you have water filters. Have a specific unit. Whether you are actively using it or not doesn't matter, but make sure it's there so that in a pinch, in a bind, in case something were to happen to our water system, you could actually filter water, get clean drinking water. Okay? If we see another limitation on bottled water in the future, you're not going to have to worry about it as much. And when we see prices increase, not if, but when we see prices increase, you will not be as heavily impacted since you're producing your own filtered water in-house. So that's something that I'm doing, and I highly recommend you do as well. But one thing I want to end this with is not only will bottled water be tough to come by in the next few months, according to multiple reports, but water filter replacements will be tough to get. So make sure you stock up on both. Have cases of water. Also have a bunch of packs of the water filter cartridges. I know they're a little bit spendy, but if you can afford them, I highly recommend you get them now before they're gone or they cost even more. So that's what we know right now. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.